What's going on, guys? Kevin Cage here with another XRP update. We're going to be diving into the XRP price chart alongside a bunch of Ripple and XRP news. What I'm noticing on the charts is XRP on the daily time frame is sitting right on top of the 50 moving average. Of course, assets like Algo that are ahead have already moved up to the 1618 extension. XRP's 1618 extension on the Fibonacci would be much higher around these levels. As Algo is climbing up and this MA started curling, you can see there was multiple back tests along these levels, even this crazy wick way back here. And now we are simply awaiting the next move for Bitcoin and the altcoin market. The Bitcoin price chart right here, we are sitting in a similar position on the 50 moving average on the daily. However, it's actually starting to rise just a tad. Notice that XRP is sitting right on that 50-day moving average. The same thing can be said about the Ethereum price chart. And there's a bunch of other structures that are actually below their retracement, sitting just below the 50 moving average. This is Bitcoin Cash, looking pretty similar to Zcash as well. Same can be said for Monero, Ethereum Classic, and Stellar XLM. Remember, we have plenty of examples of assets that finally blasted up above the previous all-time high back in May and April, such as Algo, Cardano ADA, DAG of Constellation, Hedera Hashgraph HBAR. We have LTX or Lattice token, part of the Hypergraph Transfer Protocol, all related to Constellation and DAG. You have assets like Kava that actually broke and created a new all-time high price, but now we're backtesting on the previous high of May, whereas XRP has yet to even surpass its all-time high price back in April. You have VeChain sitting right on the 50 moving average as well. XDC sitting right on that 50 moving average or just below, but notice that it did in fact create that all-time high price and now is backtesting the previous high, also just like Kava that was set back in April and May. Solana needs no introduction whatsoever. It's one of the assets that is ahead in the pattern. Notice when this 50 moving average started curling up, we did blast through these levels and reach the 4.236 to perfection. If you're measuring the swing high from April's high for XRP, the 4.236 would actually be about $7. Now, if we take that next lower level right before capitulation, we can see that the 4.236 is still $5 plus. We have LCX, another great asset that is partnered with QNT of Quant along with DAG of Constellation, also approaching its all-time high price. Could Bitcoin drop a little bit more, delay the inevitable, install this market a little bit longer? Yes, but my bias remains the same that a lot of other alts still have yet to push past their all-time high price at the very least. Do I want it to happen tomorrow? You bet. Am I willing to wait weeks for this to happen? Yes. And even comparing XRP's price chart to LCX, look at how it actually navigated through these retracement levels using that previous high before capitulation. We have LCX battling the 50% retracement, finally blasting through and actually passing the 100% retracement. Notice XRP sitting where? Right on the 50% retracement, right on top of the 50-day moving average. Interesting. We also have Luna, just like Algo, HBAR, and a variety of other assets that are pumping, creating all-time high prices. This does not happen in a bear market. And using that swing high, we actually see that we are just sitting above the 1618 extension and have surpassed the 2 in the past. And look at the magic of using the Fibonacci retracement yet again from the swing high right here before capitulation, climbing up, busting through the 236, and where did it go? Right to the 2618 extension. These Fibonaccis are like magnets for price confluences, especially if you can actually gauge it with previous support or resistance. And right now, we're in price discovery for Terra Luna. And I know a lot of people are excited about this asset. I'm just continuing to focus on other assets that are below their retracement levels, that are around battling these levels. And of course, down here is a much safer bet for me. Finally blasted through the 702, back tested on the 786, and then launched. Notice all these assets are drawn differently because they are different assets, but it's very interesting that they all are battling these levels, and it's the same end result of these price targets and golden extensions. And also, big congrats to Tezos XTZ. Notice that we did have a golden cross right here, just like most assets. This yellow line is the 50 moving average, cutting through this blue moving average, which is actually the 100-day moving average. Now, we have this golden cross cutting through, a nice little bullish continuation, and we back test on the wicks on the 50 moving average. Pretty interesting, and of course, it's with these levels, so just an additional confluence. But what did we do? After this backtest, we finally shot up yet again, approaching all-time high price. Notice for XRP, we're sitting in a very similar position. After this golden cross, we had the bullish continuation before that, just like Tezos, coming back down and sitting right on that 50 moving average. Interesting times. As you guys know, I'm scanning through like 20 to 30 plus digital assets on a daily basis, so I'm just monitoring all these little fluctuations and we're going to see what happens next. And you may notice that Tezos was right on the pivot and XRP is right on this Fibonacci pivot. Where did it go? Oh wow, to the R3? Yep. Because this is how the game is played. These are Fibonacci levels. Of course, I use the 8, 21, 34 moving averages, the EMAs, which are specifically Fibonacci sequences, and in tandem with the Fibonacci pivots. So we're going to be watching these levels. We're seeing a lot of assets get this push, so we're going to be watching this. Next up, shared by XRP Crypto Wolf, the number of active XRP wallet addresses has increased by over 200% in the past 3 months. Looking at this chart, you can see the active XRP wallet addresses growth right here recovering pretty nicely, and I thought this was pretty interesting. So 200%, I'm not going to complain about that whatsoever. In the past 3 months, I'm not surprised because the entire market has been recovering since this mini bear market. As we know, Bitcoin roughly topping out at almost $65,000 per unit, crashing 50% plus, bringing the entire market down after really having a parabolic rise since the end of 2020, so no surprise there. But what we're noticing is since that 50% crash from $65K to roughly $30,000, we've gone on to rally and recover about 60% since then to about 47K. We also were just recently at almost 53,000. Having a Fibonacci retracement right here before we started collapsing, we can see swing high, swing low. We did in fact almost reach the 786 Fibonacci retracement, just shy of 53K, and now we are right under the 618, the golden ratio. As you guys know, I'm focused on plenty of assets that are below these 382 and even 236 Fibonacci retracement levels, and we have dozens of assets that are reaching these higher levels. Here is a must follow in the XRP community, guys. This is Panos, and I encourage you to check him out. Notice, why do I hold XRP, the best digital asset for payments, and not only with one of the best and most exciting technologies, targeting the biggest markets, of course, Money 2.0, using it as a store of value and medium of exchange, generational wealth and financial freedom. Stable, over 50 million ledgers closed since inception with no network downtime ever, and this number is well above 65 million now. Scalable, global throughput capacity of over 50,000 TPS transactions per second. Notice institutional grade, of course, RippleNet integration, SOC 2 certification. XRP benefits from Ripple's proactive regulatory outreach and penetration into some of the largest commercial banks. Decentralized, over 100 global validators, including the groups we often mention, MIT, Microsoft, AWS, CGI, etc. Robust open source, completely transparent, full-time engineers, a huge army of engineers, maintaining the XRP ledger and developing upon it. And preferred, XRP's technical superiority makes it a preferred settlement asset for payment providers. And what also makes it a preferred settlement alternative or even choice is the liquidity. This is something that is often ignored. The asset that is most liquid will often win. And in my opinion, XRP will be one of those assets in the future payment landscape, and already is today, that will be essentially like a black hole for liquidity. So the more liquidity it gets, well, just like the quote Chris Larson says, liquidity begets liquidity. And so I always like to say that XRP, or even the XRP ledger itself, is like a black hole that really is just going to be sucking in all the value. I also saw Crypto Eddie giving congratulations to Jeremy and Richard, and we've seen this name before, Jeremy Light. And before diving into this, I wanted to highlight Jeremy Light, just a little background for anybody that's not aware. Back to 2015, Accenture's Jeremy Light. Jeremy Light was at Accenture. Accenture is an early investor in the company Ripple. It is one of the largest organizations in the world that helps all of these groups really with their digital transformation, specifically in DLT and payments. And this is an article by Jeremy Light. The future of payments is real time. Jeremy Light going on to say the hottest topic in Europe, if not globally, is real-time payments, discussing the European Central Bank. Even discussing right here, Bitcoin, the maximum transactions right now is maybe 3 or 4 transactions per second on the Bitcoin blockchain. If you look at Visa, this can process about 45,000 TPS, just like we said earlier, transactions per second. So Bitcoin is not technically real time, although it is a great store of value. It's a complete innovation when it comes to a P2P network. But this is one of the reasons, guys, that XRP is just better positioned to solve the payments issue. XRP, in my opinion, is not competing with Bitcoin. Bitcoin was here first, that's fine. But there's so much friction in today's ecosystem, well beyond payments. It's going to be taken well into DeFi, Internet of Things, big data, cloud storage, real estate, who knows, tokenization of everything. You have NFT projects popping up every single day. We haven't even scratched the surface. But as you guys know, with Bitcoin, you can't really confirm transactions on both ends in a matter of seconds. Maybe it does take a few minutes. And of course, for anybody that's been here during the bull run, when there's absolute congestion on the network, it can take hours. I've actually had a full day where my Bitcoin actually took to settle, and I'm not making that up whatsoever. Notice they even say right here, Ripple confirms transactions in seconds. And in 2015, they did really just call the Ripple protocol, just like they called XRP back in the day, Ripples. And then even right here, Accenture's Jeremy Light, the future of payments is open access. So it looks like they have now started their own payment solution. This is 4.0. In quotes by Jeremy Light, payments to fuel the fourth industrial revolution, next generation payments. But overall, this website is really interesting. 4.0.io, payments to fuel the fourth industrial revolution. We see payments, digital assets, business models, governance. Commerce is changing, and so is this digital landscape. In turn, money. Payments are changing from cash to electronic, from next day to real time, from off and off to always on. From cards to wallets, and now even bank deposits, to e-money or electronic money, to stablecoins, and now central bank digital currencies. All of this is enabling new business models and new forms of digital commerce and digital trade and exchange. So they're going to be focused on developing strategies, providing clients access with databases and reports, and plenty of insights on all the trends of these next generation payment networks. And this is on the Global Payment Landscape tab above, and I encourage you guys to check this out for yourselves. You can see forecasted the top 10 trade corridors. Why are we focused on this? Because we want to know which currencies have the most money flow. And you can see these forecasts on the left-hand side in terms of billions. Let's see what they have to say about digital assets. Basically just listing the benefits of it. Single common ledger, immutability and censorship resistance, the difference between private and public or permissionless and permissioned, programmable money, atomic settlements and atomic swaps, liquidity bridges, things that we already know, and notice we even have XRP right here as an example. So I encourage you guys to check this out, Ping and Pay. Ping and Pay, that'll be fun to say. The digital way to pay. Even Panos, right here referencing, Ripple veterans or vets unveil global micropayments network for Web 3.0. So as you can see, Jeremy Light, co-founder of Ping and Pay. And of course, he had a background at Ripple back in the day. So co-founder of Ping and Pay, co-founder of this 4.0 that we just discussed, and of course, VP of Strategic Accounts. And before becoming VP of Strategic Accounts for Ripple for a couple years, remember, he was in the Insights article of Ripple while he was at Accenture in 2015. Safe to say, since he was a managing director for Accenture, specifically on payment services in Europe, Africa, Latin America, that they definitely worked on some integrations out there because he's extremely familiar with the payments landscape. So this is the caliber of people that have worked on Ripple and have been in talks with them for the past 5, 6, 7 years. And just like Panos was referencing, the use of digital assets to reduce liquidity requirements and bridge between fiat payment systems. I know we've been saying this for the past couple years, guys, but the truth is that this is still a huge issue. And yes, XRP and a variety of digital assets are going to be solving this issue. There's huge potential in facilitating next generation payments. In non-fiat digital assets such as XRP that is globally decentralized and also already has regulatory clarity in a variety of countries, also has the benefit of being neutral geopolitically, or I should say geopolitically neutral, as they actually reference right in that article on 4.0. Alright guys, we're going to finish up with some wisdom. I absolutely love this concept for all investors and any chess players out there. I love chess, but I cannot pronounce this name of this move, but listen up and I will try my best. In chess, there is a term called zugzwang, which means that even though the best move is to not move at all, the game compels the player to do so, often putting him at a disadvantage. Investors are free to not move. The benefit of investing. In chess, you always have to move. In baseball, you get 3 strikes and only so many pitches. In investing, you can wait for your pitch, and you never have to move unless the conditions are perfect. I hope you enjoyed this one. All links can be found in the video description. Until next time.